You ever grab a notebook that looks great and then the pages bleed, the cover bends, and the spiral catches on everything in your bag? I was tired of wasting money on notebooks that couldn't keep up until I found this one. These are 5-star 2-subject notebooks, and here's why they're worth your money. Let's go check it out back there. This is actually what you'll get in the box. Obviously, I would rip this off, but for now, I'm going to keep it on. The front is made of this kind of plasticky piece, which is super helpful because you don't have to worry about water absolutely destroying this from the top. The sides, obviously, it's paper, so it will get destroyed. The back has a hard piece of cardboard, not super thick, but still feels very nice. If we open it up, I'm going to do some tests. Well, first off, the thing that makes this a 2-subject notebook as opposed to a 1 is it has this piece in the middle. This is supposed to kind of signify that there are 2 different subjects that you'll be studying. So, this piece is just a piece of what feels like construction paper with 2 little pieces to kind of put whatever you want in there. Very simple. But let's do a test to kind of show. All right, I'm going to put it like that. I have a couple. I'm going to move this a little bit over. I have a couple of different markers that I'm going to be using to test with. First of all, pencil obviously isn't going to go through, right? That's normal. But here we got a normal Pilot pen. I'll kind of scribble it over just like that. As you can see, nothing. And on the other side, you can kind of see it, but it's not too bad. Next up, we're going to go to these. These are gel pens. So these I've found to be quite a lot of ink in them. So this will kind of give a good example of whether or not to have to worry about the actual gel pens. This is a white one, so you're not going to really see it on the paper, but I can see it in person. And let's just see what we see. No bleed through, and on the back it almost looks about the same as the regular pen, which is quite nice. Here we got a Sharpie, just to see. Again, I'm not going to be sitting here and letting it sit on the paper because that's not what it's made for. On the Sharpie, you do have a little bit of bleed through on the back of the paper, but not onto the other piece of paper. That is not bad. You know what? We'll go to the other King Sharpie just to see what this does. I imagine it'll be very similar to the regular Sharpie, but just to see, yeah. So, it looks like we're actually getting just a tiny bit of bleed through with the King Sharpie. I would not use gigantic markers with this notebook, but I think that is very fair. Here we got sort of a micron tiny pen style. Let's see what that does. As you can see, barely any bleed through. This is probably actually the best one, so these are probably the better ones to use. So far, it looks like the only marker that I was able to get to bleed through out of my collection here is the gigantic Sharpie, so I would not use these. But everything else seems to be just fine. And overall, high recommendation for any sort of pencil or micron style pen. I think that this is a very nice notebook. The pages feel very thick. I like that it's kind of perforated so you can rip them off if you want. It's not the biggest notebook, but it is very well made. I totally recommend the 5-star notebook.